start doing this cool new thing. It's something I've actually been kind of itching to do, but I never really have done. And it's funny because every time I talk to individuals or start conversations around podcasting or just sharing my voice, I get caught up with like, oh, I want to do it with someone, right? And so now I'm just going to do it directly from just me sharing my voice, because I think it's kind of cool to do so, and I think more people should do it because, you know, you never know who you're going to relate to. And so one of the conversations, or just one of the topics we're going to be doing through my channel, whether that's, you know, all my blog stuff or people project, that's all something different. This is something that I'm probably going to be criticized, judged, whatever on, but I think it's awesome because I get to share my thoughts, my opinions, whether they're right, wrong, whatever the case is. And this is going to be called Rob's Response. My phone just started listening.
Calling Nico Rada.
No, I don't want to call Nico Rada. That's strange. Anyways, so Siri was just calling Nico, don't know why. But Rob's Response. So my response video for this is going to be on Kanye West and the conversation around Jesus is King and the new album and his interviews. So thus far, I've invested close to 4 hours, not including the album that I listened to twice already, into like his new album, his discussion around the album, his questions around this album. I think it's awesome. I am biased, and I'll be completely honest on this conversation because I'm a big fan of Kanye. I'm a big fan of his belief systems. I'm a big fan of his craziness. I'm a big fan of his wokefulness. So you're probably not, a lot of you are probably not gonna like this video because you probably don't like Kanye, you probably don't like his support Trump movement or his thoughts or what he says on Twitter. So I'm actually really excited to do this response because he talks about judgment, he talks about criticism, he talks about the amount of people that are afraid to speak their mind. And for those of you that know me, don't know me, I really like to be that person that speaks their mind, shares their truths, regardless of opinions. Actually, I make it a very fun thing to do is to challenge the status quo, be very unorthodox. And so I related a lot to this interview that I'm listening to in particular. And so I think that it's amazing what he's trying to accomplish. Nonetheless, I mean, on the religion side, that's a whole other conversation. But on the message that he's trying to get across is, A, Jesus is King, which I completely agree with. Second is the dialogue that we have. And it's funny because the reason I really committed to doing this is because the primary message he has is like, we have to stop caring about what Susie, John, Joe, Sally, everybody thinks mom, dad, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, friends think about us. And this is really hard to do because we're in a constant battle with opinions and judgments and criticisms on what we're distributing online, like I'm doing right now, and on social on a day-to-day basis, because now we've all given a voice digitally to interact and share our opinions. And so this opinion is going to be really much me sharing how much I relate to Kanye, because I really don't care, you know, I'm not perfect, and I think he talks about this too in being a born-again Christian, really being in the understanding of what it is to be a Christian, is to understand that only God judges. And it's super funny. I'm actually going to bring up a conversation that happened today with a good friend of mine, Nicole. I'm shouting you out, Nicole Papayans, sorry. And so she was talking to me about my profile photo. She's like, what's up with your profile photo? It's not there. And I laughed. Actually, let me read exactly what I said because I think this is pretty funny. She says, makes you look like a stalker. And I said, laughing my ass off, I'm on that Kanye shit. Only God can judge me, with a little angel face. And so this is one of those things that judgments will be there. And quite funny, I did this whole no profile photo because someone that I actually admire and follow just accidentally happened to share a story, and he had no profile photo, and I asked, you know, why he didn't have a profile photo, and it was because they just wasn't working. And I thought to myself, that's kind of unique. It's kind of different. It's kind of different. And I'm like, how can you create something different out of that moment? And so I said, took a screenshot of my profile with no photo, and I said, if you support this movement, do the same. Take off your profile photo. And I had a lot of people actually ask me what it was all about. And once I shared with them the story, nobody really did it, but it's okay. It's not the point. The point is I don't want them to follow me. I don't want them to do things because I'm doing them. I want to see if they're willing to do something that's really different for the matter of doing things that are really different. I think it's really powerful to be able to not be afraid of judgment. Like, I knew that was really weird and different. And it's funny, when I got that response from her, I was like, yes, it's a negative opinion. Not on her behalf, but just on a general consensus of what people think, because it is kind of weird when you have a profile photo. It's like, why not? What's going on with your account? This is something small, right? But I think it's like awesome to challenge the status quo and like really think about why we care about the things we care about. Back to the response on Kanye's, his whole new album is essentially a representation of who he's becoming as a human being. I fully support this evolution of Kanye. He's devoting his entire being, and this is going to give you guys some insight on my religious beliefs and what I think and how I have a relationship with God, but it's going to be cool for you guys to understand that Kanye is going into this space as a human because he's experienced so much, and not the best, right? He talks about his addictions to sex, his addictions to money, fame, ego, all this shit, right? He's open about it, and he talks about it freely because he wants to move past it. He wants to grow as an individual, and he's not afraid to be judged by it. He's literally openly saying, I am pursuing a better relationship with God, right? And for those of you that may be watching this, I don't know who you are, how many people are consuming this, but you can be a believer of God, Buddha, any religion. The point is, there's a higher power, right? And so he's saying that he's trying to get closer to that higher power. And he's saying he's not going to get judged by it. He doesn't care to be judged by it because no one can judge him besides God. So when he tells you this, he actually talks about a porn addiction. Like, that's really, really vulnerable and open and honest and transparent as a human being, right? So that's showing you, not even by him doing it for a certain reason, he's just really exposing himself because he is not afraid of judgment. And I think that's awesome. I think that's very powerful, and I think more people should be like that. Of course, there's a ton of things that Kanye has done that have not been the best. He talks about that song that he did with Lil Pump, and I'm sure if you are aware, you know what song I'm talking about. But he speaks on this album on how he was working for the devil for so long, and now literally saying that he's not going to do any of those songs ever again on tour, live, in concert. Like, and he says this in 2 interviews, so he must be pretty serious about it. It's really interesting because for him to say, no longer going to do the old Kanye, I am a new Kanye, is crazy. It's like literally an artist saying, I don't care if I make any money from my previous fame and songs and art and creativeness, I'm going to be a new person, and this is who I identify to. So there's a lot of cool stuff that I think a lot of you that say, oh, I don't like Kanye, or, oh, well, I'm not religious. And I'm not sitting here trying to tell you to be religious or do, because I think there's a very big differentiator between religion and relationship. A little bit about me, went to Catholic school, was baptized Catholic, confirmed Catholic, etc. Don't go to Catholic church anymore, I go to a Christian church. I don't think any of it matters. I think my relationship with this higher power is the most important thing in the world. I think it's gotten a lot better over the last 10 years of my life, which thank God that it has, because I'm in a position where I'm happy, fulfilled, and just in a good place because of it. So that's my whole experience with it. But seeing that it at a high level, right, at an icon level, according to Forbes and all these other magazines that published him, is that to be so committed and convinced and convicted into this decision is powerful. And I think those of you that critique him and judge him and say, well, I'm not a fan of Kanye, or I'm not a fan of religions, or what is he trying to do with this whole Christianity thing, like, take a step back and really consume him. And I say that because a lot of people that make judgments don't really listen to everything. I've listened to a lot, enough for me to have an opinion about it and my response to it, and I'm actually going to finish this interview and get more understanding of what he is as a human, how he thinks, how he digests things. And I even watched him on his Jimmy Kimmel last session he had last week, and just seeing how he interacts with people and how he responds to questions and how he thinks about things is really insightful. And so I guess my response is, before you make a judgment, go consume his stuff. Really listen to his album. It's only 30 minutes long, I believe, 29 minutes, 27 minutes, but you can listen to it a couple of times and really try to like look at the lyrics and see what he's trying to deliver. It's really interesting. And that's my response for this whole Kanye West and Jesus is King. So if you guys can actually put your opinions, comment, please give me your feedback. Whether you say, I hate Kanye, I love Kanye, I believe in religion, I love God, whatever it is, please feed into it. I really would love to know more, hear about it. I want to interact with you guys too. I think this is the first of many. So definitely subscribe and like. And this is me just trying to, I don't care for vanity metrics. I'm actually really going against it, and I actually work in social media. This is my business. I'm in a social media agency. I founded a social media agency, but I really want to connect with more humans, and I think these platforms really serve that as a tool, and I think that people don't use it for that purpose. They really use it for vanity type things, whether that's look at me or look how awesome my life is, but I think it really connects people, and you can really actually build a community. And so I kind of want to build a community around people that want to hear this message of Rob, or hear my voice, or understand me a little bit better, or hear what I have to say or my opinions. And so yeah, that's why I'm telling you to subscribe. Like this or dislike this. Actually, do whatever you want, like it or dislike it. I guess we're just so used to hearing like my channel and subscribe, but no, really subscribe, because I want to get to share more messages with you guys and kind of conversate with you in the comment section. I'll hop in there for sure. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this, and until next time, see you later. Peace.